Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode podcast to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Huge shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. Oh boy, we got one for you today. Let's cook it up. All right, let me give some quick shout outs here to the people that are currently in the chat right now. We got Zane, we got Joel, we got Michael, we got DJ Boogie, Money. What's up, y'all? Appreciate you guys for being here. Smack the like button here on your way in. The Arizona Cardinals are now 3-8. Yikes. Absolutely yikes.
Or who we thought they were. That's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, do we got a lot to talk about today. The Arizona Cardinals lose in a different style of losing this time around, right? And of course, right now you're getting the feud between Kyler Murray stans and people that want this Cardinals team to succeed. And right now there's this civil war going on within the social media world. And honestly, it is what it is, right? The Cardinals are 3-8. This offense right now is still, in my opinion, running better in the eyes of what we're seeing here with Jacoby Brissett. That still hasn't changed to me. I don't think if Kyler Murray played any of these games, things would have been different. I really don't. I think the Arizona Cardinals right now are in a situation where this offense with Jacoby Brissett is running the way that Jonathan Gannon and Pet Singh wanted it to run, right? Stay in the pocket, throw the ball down the field. But at the end of the day, it's not enough, right? Because there's these deficiencies happening with this Arizona Cardinal team in general, right? The definition of insanity. I don't think I've actually talked about this since probably the last year of Cliff Kingsbury. And looking around the NFL, there are teams firing their offensive coordinators. There are teams firing their defensive coordinators. There's teams firing their head coaches right now around the NFL. But the Arizona Cardinals right now are so staying pat to the idea that, no, we are not doing anything. We're getting this turnaround. Come back to work and everything is going to be fine. But honestly, I think we've kind of reached to the point to the season where in the beginning, the people that wanted to fire Drew Petzing, that felt like that was going to solve everything, right? To cater to Kyler Murray and say, oh, well, that's going to solve everything. You fire Kyler or you fire Petzing and this offense is going to run a lot better. Trust me. Well, we know that this offense can run, right? We know Jacoby Brissett has come in here and we know that this offense is run better. Problem is that it's not enough. Defense, for what it's worth in this game, has actually done enough to hopefully win against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They forced, 4 turnovers, 3 interceptions. And this team did enough, or this defense did enough. What the living heck was Jacoby Brissett thinking in that last play was beyond me. Is beyond me. But if you listen to Jonathan Gannon and you listen to Jacoby Brissett, what's being coached is actually very concerning. So although I can still come out here and say, this offense is running better with Jacoby. It is. And there's every statistical matter you can go out there and put out there and say that it is. And it is. It absolutely is. So Kyler Murray stands, I'm sorry. You lose. You lose. This quarterback is running. And this is a quarterback that's getting paid $8 million, $9 million compared to a $45+ million quarterback. So if you want to come out here and say it, Jacoby Brissett is still running it better, but he definitely has some deficiencies. Obviously, that last play was a terrible decision. Jacoby Brissett came out on the post game, right, and came out and said it was a bad throw. That they would have done that 100 times more. Well, he didn't say that, but they're essentially backing up their decision. Jonathan Gannon backed that decision up. He said, "Hey, go win the game." No, you don't do that. There's screenshots out there that there was obvious plays to be made, and that home run ball wasn't it. And not just that, to Xavier Weaver. I love Xavier Weaver. I think Xavier Weaver, if given the opportunity, is going to be a solid wide receiver, right? But he is what he is. He's Xavier Weaver. We had arguably probably another great game from Michael Wilson. Another great game from Trey McBride. And guess what? Those weren't the reads. I don't get that. That was a horrible, dysfunctional decision. And it's prototypical Arizona Cardinal fashion. It's Arizona Cardinal fashion in a nutshell, because guess what? Jonathan Gannon came out and said, "Oh, it's okay. Go win the game." Let's listen to exactly what Jonathan Gannon had to say. Now, this is an 18-second clip because the media ends up asking, what was the thought process there? Like, why are you throwing the ball deep into probably at one point might have looked like single coverage, but ended up being double coverage to a guy that has not really proven much in the NFL? And you got a wide receiver that's on a heater. You got arguably the best tight end in your roster, and that's the ball you go for, a home run ball? Let's dive right into what Jonathan Gannon had to say.
Throw up offside, you had done that before instead of taking the deep pass?
No.
What were you trying to get done on that play? I assume that wasn't the first read, the deep shot?
Yeah, they played double-double. So I threw it to the one-on-one. Love the decision. Go win the game.
So it wasn't a good decision. And here's the thing. It's okay to say it wasn't a good decision. It's okay to say it was not a good decision, Jonathan Gannon. It wasn't. It wasn't a good decision at all. Jacoby Brissett shouldn't have thrown the ball down there. It's okay to say we need to look at the film. It's okay to say that probably wasn't the route. It's fine. Because honestly, as a Cardinal fan, I would rather hear you say that than saying it's okay to throw. No, Jacoby Brissett, you did not do good in that specific drive. That was a terrible decision. And here's the thing. Can we learn from it? Yes, we can, but we're so far into the season. What do we really learn? Next week, we're just going to find a different way of losing. Guess what? Baker Mayfield might not play next week. Well, we don't know right now. It's up in the air, right? He's going to get an MRI. But guess what? We might be seeing the Teddy Bridgewater masterclass of a performance, because that's just who we are as an organization. There's going to be more historic things happening on the opposite side for the Arizona Cardinals happening next week, right? Well, that's just probably what's going to happen. Let's call it like it is. This is so darn frustrating. And not just that, you win the turnover battle, which is something that was preached by Jonathan Gannon for so darn long. You win the turnover battle, that's definitely something that's going to be in the step in the right direction. Well, yeah, we did that, right? We ended up getting a forced turnover, which it looked like an interception to me from Walter Nolan. He runs it to the house, but they're calling it a fumble recovery. Okay, whatever. It is what it is. It's a turnover. He runs it to the house. It's great. It looks awesome. But at the end of the day, and then you get more interceptions on Trevor Lawrence making some not great throws, but also really good playmaking abilities from our DBs and our middle linebacker, Akeem Davis-Gaither. That might be a highlight of his career. Like, that was a really, really good play from Akeem Davis-Gaither. Other than that, he's okay, right? I mean, great play, great decision. But other than that, he's all right. I mean, it is what it is. Akeem Davis-Gaither is who he is, right? Mack Wilson Sr. would love to have him in the middle, but more concerns going on all around. Like, the defense, like I said, they did enough for this Cardinal team to be in this game. They did. It's just, unfortunately, the offense couldn't get their SHIT together yet again, right? The decisions that are being made by Jacoby, specifically in that last play, it wasn't good. It wasn't good enough. It wasn't. So I don't like the fact that both of them came out and said, "Oh yeah, it's fine, right? That was the read. The ball's gonna go where the ball's gonna go." Oh, stop the BS, man! Stop the BS. This is Jonathan Gannon about the takeaway battle and why we couldn't take advantage of getting points after the takeaway battle, because there was a lot of takeaways from the Cardinals and we just couldn't muster any points. So this is what Jonathan Gannon had to say.
talk about winning the takeaway battle. You guys did that 4-0. How come you don't think you were able to turn a lot of those turnovers into points?
You probably, yeah. I mean, we had a couple times we're in point zone, and we got knocked out of being able to kick a field goal there. I think it happened twice. You need those points, so we got to firm up and make sure we're putting them in the right spots and do a better job, put some points on the board. And then, hopefully you can win the game there. When you win the takeaway battle 4-0, you should have a really good chance of winning.
And we had a chance. We had a chance of winning. We did. Whether this was not the best performance when it came down to Jacoby Brissett. He was harassed. This offensive line is regressed even since the beginning of the season. From the beginning of the season, they were okay. They weren't great, right? That O-line on the right-hand side has always been a concern. Isaiah Adams is coming in into his second year, got the start before Will Hernandez got healthy. Jonah Williams has always been some sort of sore thumb when it comes down to the O-line, but they've gotten worse. How can you get real worse? It has. It's gotten so much bad to the fact that Jacoby Brissett has taken 6 sacks in this last game. This guy is getting beat up every which direction. And kudos to him for taking the hits, right? Kudos to him. Now, could we have used the athletic ability of Kyler Murray running out of the pocket? Maybe. Maybe. Or maybe it would have amounted to more sacks. I don't know. I don't know how this game's going to shake out. Obviously, different quarterbacks, different styles of play is going to result to different things, right? But regardless of what it is, Jacoby Brissett was still able to throw a lot of yardage on this defense. Over 317 yards. 1 touchdown. Threw the ball again 49 times. Again, the run game is non-existent. I don't know what else we can do at this point, right? I don't know why the Arizona Cardinals organization is so stingy to the fact that they don't want to make any moves. They don't. They don't want to make any moves for the reasons of they think that they're going to be able to fix it. They're not. They're absolutely not. This team is trending to a 4-win, maybe 4-win. Hell, they might even stay at 3 wins. I don't know. I'm just trying to give them a little grace because there was only 2 real potential wins here, and that was Jacksonville and Atlanta. Guess what? Jacksonville beat us in overtime. It's just, at this point, what more can you do, right? Now, earlier in the season, I did come out and said, well, what is it going to accomplish, right? I said, what is it going to accomplish if Petzing was fired, right? Because keep in mind, the narrative back then was if you fire Petzing, that's going to save Kyler Murray, right? That's what everybody out there was saying. Oh, you fire Petzing and Kyler Murray is saved, right? That will fix everything. We all know that that's not true, right? Now, that's one of the main things that I was saying for the longest time. It's not just Kyler. It's not just Petzing. It's not just the O-line. It's not just the run game. It's everything. Everything is the problem as to why the Arizona Cardinals can't win games. That's what I've been saying from the get. Now, of course, people want to focus on Kyler. Oh, you hate Kyler. I don't hate Kyler. I have said, and I will say right now that the offense is still running better with Jacoby. Still. It still looks way better. It still looks, Michael Wilson looks like a wide receiver in the NFL. That's cool. Trey McBride is becoming the top tier tight end that we all knew he was going to be with Jacoby Brissett. So I'm not going to come out here and say, oh, I'm taking a step back and saying I'm trying. No, I'm not. But there's fault to be put out here. Jacoby Brissett deserves fault because that last decision was putrid. It was terrible. It was a terrible decision by Jacoby Brissett and a terrible decision by Jonathan Gannon for coming out and says, oh, yeah, win the game. Come on. That was not a good decision at all. Point blank. And it's okay to say that. Move on. This Cardinals organization continues to find different ways to lose. And it's just going to keep happening. I don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. The only light I see is Black Monday. That's the only light I see at the end of the tunnel. And unfortunately, you got 6 games left. And unfortunately, every team in the NFC West is winning. Every single team in the NFC West is winning. Good God, this is terrible. Now, going back to what I was saying about Petzing, right? At that time, earlier in the season, I said, it's not going to accomplish anything, right? Where you fire Petzing, who else do you got? At this point into the season, you're 3-8 with 6 games left. Fire him. Who cares? What are you going to accomplish? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at this point. The 3-year experiment of what Petzing was and who he is, it just ain't it. Somebody has to kind of pay for this situation. Somebody has to pay for this 3-8 start. Somebody. And if you don't want to get rid of Gannon and you want to wait to the end of the year, whatever. But somebody needs to get it. This wasn't supposed to happen this year for the Cardinals at all. This was not supposed to happen. You want to prove to the fan base that you're listening. You want to prove to the fan base that you're trying to win and try to do everything in your power to win. Then you know what you got to do. They're not going to do it because monetary reasons. And they still think there is a chance that we can finish strong. They still think there's a chance of finishing strong. I don't understand why. Michael Bidwell is, not the brightest bulb out there. Monty Ossenfort, I'm not even going to start with that guy. I mean, honestly, he is what he is. I still think he's a little too conservative for me, but some people like him. It is what it is. I'm not going to go on a debate for somebody who has been here for 3 years and not given Keim got 10 years. He's probably at least going to get 5 years. That's just the way the organization works. I mean, that's what it is. But my saving grace as a Cardinal fan, I would love to see somebody kind of get it. I would love to see somebody kind of pay for what the season has become. Jonathan Gannon came out and says he still likes the play calling. He still likes the offensive play calling. So it doesn't seem like nothing's going to happen. But honestly, I would rather have something going into the offseason because right now I fear that this Arizona Cardinals organization is going to blame everything on 2025 on injuries. I fear that they're going to blame everything on injuries. They're going to come out and say, we were riddled with injuries. That's why we're here. No, this is not why we're here. We're here because Jonathan Gannon is not a coach that can stay within this division. That's why. And we're here because our lack of run game and Monty Ossenfort not getting a solid running back. Dameon Pierce was just released, right? Did anybody see that? Dameon Pierce was released by the Texans. Who ended up getting Dameon Pierce? The Chiefs. But no, the Cardinals are more than okay with running with Amari DiMercado, with Michael Carter, and Bam Knight. Hell, take a swing on Dameon Pierce for the love of God. If that was something that you needed to do, I'm pretty sure you were lower on the waiver wire than a said Chiefs. You couldn't go after a Dameon Pierce, which actually had a really good rookie year, and obviously kind of went down because Mixon came in, and we all know how that kind of all shooken out. But come on, you kidding me? You can't even go after that? Let me get to the super chats that are piling in. We got my guy Cigar Brothers coming in here. Says, let's go. What's up, man? Appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you so very much for the $1 donation, Cigar. Let me go to the next super chat. We got Carter Knows All saying, I don't mind the loss. We need to keep losing to get the draft pick. Jacoby Brissett is doing what he needs to do to lose. I like it. Okay. Fair. Okay. Fair. And that's the thing, too. Wherever you are at in the spectrum, if you are on the spectrum of it's okay, the draft pick is what we're looking for. Cool. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. But as somebody who's covering the team, as somebody who's obviously remaining that critical eye, I'm going to keep remaining the critical eye, regardless of what it is, right? The outcome in April, if it's a higher draft pick, then perfect. We'll settle it then, right? It is what it is. I'm just talking about right now. I don't want to have the fear or the thing looming over my head to think of situations where I'm like, damn, Gannon really might be coming back. Gannon really might be coming back, and they're going to blame everything on injuries. I hope that does not happen. I really do. This year 3 of Gannon is an utter failed experiment. It's over. It's over. I'll give praise to where praise is due. Jonathan Gannon ended up coming out and doing something that people didn't expect him to do. And he chose Jacoby Brissett. He ended up saying, this is what the Cardinals' best plan or best option to win games. Regardless of who you think is this or that, right? Because at one point, Kyler Murray was trending to come back. And then they placed him on IR. Is he coming back? We don't know, right? We ended up seeing him in working off to the side, right? Is that Jonathan Gannon's saving grace? Well, I hope Kyler Murray comes on and says, no, I don't want to come back. He might, who knows, right? It's not 100% for certain that he's going to get shut down. But at this point, you're a 3-8 team. What do you try to do? Like, what do you, like, for what? For what? To save jobs? That might be realistically why, if he does come back, that's probably why he's coming back, to save jobs. But I feel like that's another failure, because as an organization, if you're gonna move on, just do it. Quit half-assing things. Do it. Just exactly the same way I felt about when you stripped this, this roster down, and then we blamed it all on, Keim. Keim destroyed it. Keim destroyed it. Keim destroyed this roster. Any organization, any owner, if you're willing to spend money, you will be able to accomplish what you need to accomplish. We were very patient as a fan base in 2023 and 2024. And that's why when people tell me in a year 2 or year 1 of new people coming in here saying, trust the process, Mike, you got to be patient. This is what patience give us. This is the result that we're seeing, because we're literally living in a Groundhog's Day. It's the same thing over and over again. So when people tell me, patience, Mike, trust the process, this is what my mind always goes to, that there's always going to be something that derails it. And then this year, it was the Titans game. The Titans game absolutely derailed this freaking season. It derailed it. The Cardinals couldn't recover from how bad that loss was. Guess what? The Tennessee Titans have one win. One win. And gets on us. One win. I don't understand. I don't understand right now why the Arizona Cardinals are so damn egotistical and so staying to their guns that they will get this right. Jonathan Gannon was asked, I believe, earlier this week, or it might have been in the postgame, I don't remember, but they were asked about what was your message to the fan base. He says, stick with us. We will get it right. Year 3. This is year 3. This is not year 1. The patience have run out thin from this fan base. Did you not see all the people that were missing in those seats in State Farm Stadium? Because guess what? You're going to have the Rams coming in here. You're going to have multiple other teams coming in here that have big fan bases that, again, will take over State Farm Stadium. Because guess what? The fan bases, they had it. They had enough with it. They had enough of this BS. This BS has been happening over and over and over and over again. What the Cardinals needed to do was they needed to go after a head coach with experience. And they didn't. They went after a guy that was a hot name in Jonathan Gannon, coming off a Super Bowl loss, but took his team to the Super Bowl and praising and how good that defense was. And this is the results. He brought in some inexperienced offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, and although they are grateful for the experience, because who would have given Nick Rallis a defensive coordinator position? Who would have given Drew Petzing an offensive coordinator position, if not Gannon? Well, not in the first 2 years. Maybe they would have worked up to that situation, but this is the result here. Inexperienced coaches that can't seem to win close games and sprinkle in a beatdown here and there. This is not where the Cardinals fan base and this organization thought they were going to be. But guess what? We do not have the coaching staff to get this ship right. We don't. If you want to rebuild it, do it right. Don't half-ass it like you did it this last time. That's what they did. They half-assed it. They said, we got a franchise quarterback on this roster, they said to themselves. We got a franchise. We will make it work. We will make it work. It's not worked, ladies and gentlemen. It hasn't worked. Kyler Murray and Drew Petzing don't work well together. They don't work well together. Offense doesn't appease to what Kyler Murray's skill set is. And if you want to say, that's on the offensive coordinator. Yeah, there's fault there, 100%. Yeah, there's fault there. But it is what it is. They made the decision. Kyler Murray can't work here in Arizona. Is he going to find a new home? Hope so. I hope so. Hope the Cardinals can get some sort of value for him, because I feel like that's exactly what the Cardinals need to do. They need to find some sort of value and kind of move on. Build his team up. And if the Cardinals wanted to spend money, they could, right? So there's some people out there that are worried. Oh man, we're stripping this down again. Keep in mind that the way the Cardinals rebuild, it's different than everybody else, or at least most of the teams in the NFL. We, as a fan base, allow it because we don't what's the word? I'm not going to say we don't care, but we don't put enough pressure on this organization. So please keep in mind that yes, the patience came from this organization, and rightfully so. You got a new general manager, you got a new head coach. We put all our faith in the world that they were going to be able to establish and get us a consistently winning organization. That's what we put our faith in, right? Whoever comes in next, whoever comes in next, we gotta have expectations. Super Bowl obviously is never an expectation, obviously, right? But you gotta win games. Come on. Enough of this 3 or 4 win seasons and saying, oh, well, we fought strong. Oh, we fought hard. No, enough with that BS. That doesn't work in Giants land. That doesn't work in big markets like New York or California. That's only here. Only here. Because we accept it. We accept it. So there's a new head coach coming in here. You got to win. It can happen. Bruce Arians came in year 1 and he won. He won. Even Ken Wisenhunt came in here in year 1 and he won. None of this 4-win, 3-4-win bull crap. We got to go ahead and get our expectations higher. We got to put pressure on this organization, and it hasn't happened, right? I've been doing this for 7 years already. We're well into our 7 years of doing this here on this podcast, and it hasn't happened. So what's going to change next? It's not. It's going to be a vicious cycle of feeling hopeless. It's going to be a vicious cycle of the Cardinals fans. We're just going to feel the way that we feel because there's nothing we can do. And you're kind of right. There's nothing we can do. But if you band together, there is. But here we go, right? Here we are. I agree. Sell the team. But how do we get that to happen? That's the big question out there. We can all say that Bidwell needs to sell the team, although we know he's not going to, right? But if there was a plan in place to say, okay, well, this is what we're going to do, A, B, and C, right? How do we get that to happen? We're talking about a billionaire that has powers. It's got 2 jets, and it's probably got multiple houses. How do we get that to happen? Don't show up to the games. Telling people to cancel their season tickets. Sign a petition. Protest. What can we do other than go into social media and says Michael Bidwell needs to sell the team? Because although he probably knows he's a terrible owner, he's getting money. This is his bread and butter. He was inherited this fortune. He didn't earn it. He was inherited this fortune. But what do we do? All we can hope is that he finally makes a decision and starts spending money on a coach that knows what he's doing. And unfortunately, Jonathan Gannon, like he said, he didn't hire himself. He's not going to fire himself. He's going to keep going to work, in and out, and that's just the way that it is. Let me get to my guy here, Moru, in the chat. What's up, Moru? Appreciate the $10 donation. He says this: I feel like fans need to do a Suns fan approach, and at the ATP need to get a new owner who actually knows what he's doing and looking for. I'm also back pay. Oh, awesome. Well, appreciate you, Moru. Thank you so much for being here, right? We're so close to the end of the season at this point. Like, we're all just waiting. Can we be done with the season? Like, I'm to the point where I'm like, can we just simulate like this? Like, what are we going to accomplish in these next 6 games? What? Like, what? Buccaneers, Rams, Texans with the great defense, Falcons, Bengals, Rams again. What are we going to accomplish? The Cardinals literally might be leaving this season with 3 or 4 wins. And 4 is probably being generous. What are we going to accomplish? It's crazy. But I appreciate you, Moru. Thank you so very much for the super chat. I agree. I don't think anybody likes the Bidwells. I don't think anybody but that's the problem. Like, what are we going to, as fans, what do we do? Right? What do we do? Stop going to games? Boycott? Until some serious changes are made? Let's be real. For the people out there that like Monty Ossenfort, which is fine. You can like Monty Ossenfort. That's okay, right? Just the difference of opinions are okay. I'm not the biggest fan. I think he could be better at what he does. Does he need 4 or 5 years to become that guy that makes me say, okay, I'm proud of him for being my general manager? Yeah, maybe, but it is what it is. But right now, he's to me. I mean, do I think he needs to be fired at the top? No. Obviously, the coaching staff probably is going to be the first to go, but he's But going back to that, again, general manager, Monty Ossenfort, no experience. These guys are literally learning on the job. These guys faked their resume, and they probably didn't even fake their resume. It just was good enough for Michael Bidwell, because guess what? It's good in my pockets. It's good for my pockets. So he sold us Monty, which so far has been very conservative. The approach of Monty Ossenfort, that's what I'm not a fan of. And I get it. You're not going to spend all your draft capital to bring in ABC. I understand that, right? I get that. And the biggest highlight of what he's done for the Cardinals is getting Josh Sweat, and I applaud him for doing that. But that's not enough, right? The run game has been bad all year long. All year long. How have we not evaluated that in training camp? How is that something they just didn't know? How? Well, guess what? If you played them in preseason, you maybe had a little bit of an idea, but they literally came into the season and said, we're going to copy and paste. Copy, paste. It worked last year. It's going to work this year. That's the problem. This offensive line was good last year. It was good. Believe it or not, it was good last year. I'm not going to say great, but they were borderline decent. Better than this year. And guess what? In the beginning of this year, they were better than they are now. They have mightily regressed. And I mean mightily regressed. They've been so bad. It's putrid. It's horrible how bad this offensive line has been when Jacoby Brissett's been back there. And they weren't that great either in the beginning of the season when Kyler Murray was there, but they were at least better. But this run game is non-existent. The right side of the line is still bad. Will Hernandez, we were all excited about Will Hernandez coming back. I'm sorry, but he's just not looking like I thought he was going to look. Now, we have an issue with the whole right side, right guard, right tackle. There's just issues all across the board, ladies and gentlemen, all across the board. And this ain't about, Kyler Murray versus Jacoby Brissett. This ain't about that. This is about a dysfunctional organization that's doing the same thing over and over and over again to save a penny. That's what this is. That's an owner that's not truly wanting to win or putting the appropriate amount of funds to actually win a championship. That's what's happening right now. We have an owner that doesn't care about winning. That's what truly is happening right now. You hire Monty, which he's done some good things here and there, but he's to me. You hire JG. JG puts a staff together, an inexperienced staff. They really can't find their way out of a shoebox. Like, that's where we're at right now. A lot of inexperienced guys that are learning on the job. And guess what? You're in the NFC West, one of the toughest divisions in the NFL, and you cannot get your way out of this shoebox because you just do not have the smarts, the brilliance, the strategy to win from these guys. Mike McDonald already has far surpassed Jonathan Gannon as a head coach, and he's in year 2. Sean McVay, Super Bowl appearances, playoff appearances. Sean McVay, Super Bowl under his belt, playoff experiences, and we got Jonathan Gannon. Sheesh, let that sink in, ladies and gentlemen. Let that sink in. That's going to save us. And I get it. It's not just the coaching staff, right? It's not. There's a lot of little nuances that are coming up to here. But he said it. Put the blame on me. Everything good, everything bad goes through me. It's my fault. Well, we're looking at you, Jonathan Gannon, and you're not doing a good enough job. Point blank and simple. Mulru in the chat says this: Suns fans brought billboards. Actually, by the way, another $10 donation. Appreciate the super chat. He says this: Suns fans brought billboards, refused to go to games, basically boycotted the Suns until they sold the team. We need to make him feel unwanted and run him out of the sport. Monty is the only good guy, by the way. Okay. I'm going to be real with you. I think most people that go to games, they're going for the experience, or they're season ticket holders that kind of got duped to buy season tickets. Most people that are going to Cardinal games right now, I think they're just going for the experience of going to an NFL game, if I'm going to be real with you. Or they're going to their favorite team that's coming to State Farm Stadium. So to ask those guys that put their hard-earned money to hold up a sign, it's probably not going to happen. It's going to take the guys like us, right? The guys that are kind of pissed off, right? But can we get enough people to do that? That's the question, right? Can we get enough people to do that? Maybe we'll have to coordinate something like that. Billboards and getting a big portion of a specific section in the stadium to do something like that. Maybe that will be what it is. But let's be real. I think a lot of these guys that are going to go to the casita experience or sitting on those very high expensive seats on the field, they're probably just there to have a good time, drink some beer, and just kind of drink their sorrows away. Because I don't know. I can't speak for all of them. But all I can say right now is that stadium was pretty darn empty versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. So it's terrible. We're kind of in a crappy situation right now, to be real. We're kind of in a crappy situation, to be real with you right now. But it can still happen. If people are willing to do this, maybe we just might have to bite the bullet, buy a $21 ticket, $22 ticket, $50 ticket, go in there with some billboards and start the chant. Maybe we do something like that. Maybe, just maybe. It's a good idea, though. Very good idea. Appreciate you, Moru. Edgar in the chat says, Packer fans, Bills fans, Steelers fans, Chiefs fans, Eagle fans all pack the building. Let me add a little more to that. Let me add a little bit more to that. 49ers fans, Seahawks fans, every fan base will take over State Farm Stadium. And that's the crazy part to me, right? Like, truly, I feel like if we were actually to coordinate something like this, we probably would have like 30. Actually, that's still pretty solid. Like 30 people go, but like, I don't know, man. Like, this fan base is so small, and it's so crazy because this market is so big. Like, the Phoenix market is so big. It's just not a sports town. That's the problem. It's not a sports town. Or if they are, people come here from the snow. And they bring in their guy, right? They bring in their fandom. Seahawks, Packers, anybody that's living on the East Coast probably floods over here. Start a GoFundMe to get... You might be onto something here. Maybe we should do this. Maybe we should. Okay. That's the idea right there. To get a billboard up by the stadium. So he's taking it above taking signs to the stadium. We're saying get a billboard out there next to the stadium. I like that. You might be onto something there. Okay, so I was under the impression that you were saying that we should like buy tickets, put money in his pocket, and have signs in the stadium. You're saying put a billboard up. I like that. Hell, shoot, we might have to buy ourselves one of those little planes that have those signs in the back. Sheesh. Yeah. I mean, I think anything's on the table at this point, to be real with you. This organization right now has absolutely failed this fan base. By leaps and bounds, failed this fan base. And I'm looking right now. I'm constantly refreshing my X/Twitter page for a hope of glimmer that Michael Bidwell is going to know what's up and what to do. And he just hasn't been able to do it. He hasn't been able to do it. He hasn't been able to do it. I'm worried that at the end of the year, they're going to chalk this season up as we were plagued by injuries, guys. We're fine. We're not fine. We are not fine. Jonathan Gannon has not proven that he can beat and run with the big dogs. He has not been able to do that. And guess what? He still likes the play calling. And guess what? He still likes everything that's been going good, right? Go out there and win a game, he says, right? When he was asked about Jacoby Brissett taking the deep shot to Xavier Weaver. Not even Michael Wilson, not even Trey McBride. It's to Xavier Weaver. He likes it. Insane. Insane. Put a boycott on an Amber Alert. Everyone sees it. I don't even know if that's even possible. I think I might just actually get in trouble doing that. I don't know if that's even possible, but sheesh, it might come down to that point, though. But no, this is brutal, man. This is brutal. And I think right now we're kind of in zombie football right now. If I'm gonna be, we're kind of in zombie football. Like the Cardinal fans that are still watching, sheesh. Appreciate y'all. I really do. Because guess what? There's a lot of Cardinal fans that have tuned out already. Here's the thing. The Suns right now are freaking taking every single viewership, and they should. That team is so fun to watch. The Phoenix Suns are so damn fun to watch. So fun. And then we got this Cardinal team that can't get their way out of a freaking shoebox, man. Jesus. Good God. Edgar in the chat says, he says that every week go out there and win, but it still doesn't happen. What I still think is hilarious, when he was actually asked about what Michael Bidwell kind of feels about what's going on, right? Michael Bidwell apparently spoke to him in the last game when we got annihilated by the 49ers. And Michael Bidwell told Jonathan Gannon, get off the mat. Let's play our brand of ball. Good God. Good God. Get off the mat. Let's play our brand of ball. And that's when we were 3-7. Guess what? Now we're 3-8. And the Cardinals front office and this Cardinals organization right now are sitting on their hands because they believe that they can get this fixed. Or monetary reasons are binding the hands of Mr. Michael Bidwell. He's eyeing a new jet. He's eyeing a new jet. He's probably not going to use any. He doesn't want to use any dead money because he's eyeballing a new jet to buy himself in this offseason. Because guess what? 2 ain't enough. It's pathetic, man. Absolutely pathetic. I'm looking at the standings right now of this NFC West. The standings in the NFC West right now is absolutely laughable. Look at this, man. Look at this. 9-2, 8-3, 7-4. And then you got those damn bottom dwellers down there, those Arizona Cardinals, the bottom dwellers. And guess what? You got the Panthers at 6-5. You got the Bucks at 6-5. The Falcons, for the love of God, are 4 wins in. The Lions are 7 wins in. It's just the Commanders with no Jaden Daniels. Oh, they're 3-8, same as us. Cowboys just got to win over the Eagles. The Eagles are, I don't know what the Eagles are, really. They can't get themselves out of a shoebox either. But the good thing is that they're 8 wins in. Cardinals are 3 wins in, so I really can't really say very much. But this is sad, man. It's sad. Insane. Let me give some love on over to the sponsors of the Easy Sports Fan on YouTube, and we're going to continue this conversation. Appreciate you guys in the chat. I get it. Monday mornings is brutal, especially with no Cardinals wins. But let's go ahead and get some love on over to the sponsors of the Easy Sports Fan here on YouTube, the guys that are keeping the lights on. That's going to be none other than Sleeper. The NFL season is here, which means you now have a chance to 100 times your cash on daily fantasy football. Pick on stats like touchdowns, passing yards, and receiving yards, and fantasy points, and more for up to $100, 100 times a payout on Sleeper. Get your picks right, and you can win big. Use promo code AZSF and you get up to a $100 deposit match on your first initial deposit. Terms and conditions apply. And on top of that, you will also be getting a free $20 entry. No deposit needed. So if you just want to download the app and use my promo code, they will give you $20. No deposit needed to make sure you check out their app. So check out Sleeper, proud sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan throughout the entirety of the 2025 season. Let's continue the conversation in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. I get it. Everybody is very, very upset. I get it. But let's keep the conversation going. Let's go with Mega Man. What's up, Mega Man? I never heard of Coach Ott, but was a bit worried on how he would do. But he has the Suns playing as a team, hustling, playing hard and fast. That's a quality coach, and that's what a quality coach should be. Mega Man. Yes, 100% agree. One thing I will say is that in year one, if you can establish that winning culture and that belief in your players, that's a good thing. And guess what? Jonathan Gannon, for as bad as that year one was, he established a winning culture. He did. He established, I'm sorry, not a winning culture. He established a culture of playing tough, playing hard. He established it. But guess what? When you're in year three, that raw BS, it falls by the wayside. It falls by the wayside because at the end of the day, if you don't have players that truly believe in the vision and truly believe in what you're coaching, eventually the shtick ends, right? It's like going to a seminar for a guy that tells you, I'm going to make you a billionaire. I'm going to make you a billionaire. You come to this free class and I'll tell you how to become a billionaire, right? You come to the class and you're like, oh man, look what this guy has. This guy's got a jet. This guy's got a Maserati. This guy's got a Porsche. I want to live like this guy. You go to that free seminar, everything sounds great, and at the end of the seminar, they're like, you want to learn more? I can put you on the next level. Here is, what you got to do. It's 3 easy payments of $1,000 each. You buy this, I'll make you that billionaire. And you're like, oh man, let's do it, right? But as you're going in and the results don't happen, you're not that billionaire, then things start to kind of fade. You start believing into what what you thought the prize was. The prize was being a stable organization, and that's not what it is. This organization is not a stable organization. It isn't. Unfortunately, Gannon, when he came in, although 3 wins, whatever he had in the first year, 3 years in, you can't keep preaching the same BS to grown men and saying, we're going to get this right. Stick with us. We're going to be fine, he says. We're not going to be fine. No, this is a sinking ship, and it's sinking very, very fast. And the problem is the Cardinals don't know how to get themselves out of it. That's the problem. They do not know how to get themselves out of it. They need to realize and understand the elephant in the room. And that is, you are bottom dwellers in the NFC West again. Again. Since you've been here in 88, you haven't accomplished anything. Anything. And this is where you are. And this is the type of team you are. 3-8. 6 games left. And who truly thinks we're going to be able to beat any of these other teams? Like who? Who thinks we're going to be able to beat any of these other teams? Bucks? I guess it depends if Baker Mayfield plays or not, but let's be real. Teddy Bridgewater might have himself a masterclass of a performance. Bucky Irving might be coming back. He's going to run rampant over us. So that's a loss. That's a loss. That's a loss. This might be a win. That's a loss if Joe Burrow comes back, and that's a loss. This is the truth nature of where you were at. Why I would love to see breaking news. Cardinals decided to move on. Why I would like to see that is because I want to have a little peace of mind that A, this organization knows that it's time to move off these guys in this regime and it hasn't worked. And B, I don't want to have the fear looming over my head that we're going to be blaming the season on injuries. Because this season should not be blamed on injuries. This season has a lost cause. This season is an accumulation of a lot of different things as to why we are here. Gannon is a part of it. O-line's a part of it. The lack of running game's a part of it. Quarterback play is a part of it. Everything is a part of it. Everything. We did make it to the Super Bowl once. So I guess you're right. So you're right. I guess if you want to take that. But that's still, to me, that's not. You don't want to make this. Just like the great Bruce Arians has said. Not a Super Bowl, a Super Bowl ring, right? Not a Super Bowl ring. So to me, although, and I'm assuming you're talking about that we really haven't accomplished anything. I don't think we've accomplished anything. We've made it to the Super Bowl once. Great. Awesome. We've made it to the conference championship. We made it to playoffs a couple times here and there, but that's all we accomplished. I'm looking for a Super Bowl ring. Not a Super Bowl, a Super Bowl ring. And the Cardinals haven't accomplished that. Edgar in the chat saying, I have a feeling Kyler's staying with us. That's another feeling that I'm like, oh man. Because of monetary reasons, Michael Bidwell truly might do this. So, I don't know. Let's go with RM. RM in the chat says, I'm happy with just a playoff appearance with how it's been lately. Well, maybe next year, right? The best mantra we have in Arizona sports, maybe next year is our year, right? Best thing we got going for us is maybe next year. But guess what? Buda's getting older. Jalen Thompson's getting older. Trey McBride's in his prime right now. Are we going to waste prime years for Trey McBride? It feels like it's trending in that direction. Although we have seen it that if you get a quarterback, a young one that works, you can win. But I get it. I understand the people that are concerned with how bad this O-line is. I get the people out there that are concerned with no run game. I get that. Because we got more issues. We got more issues coming in or leaving this season than we did coming into the season. And that's just a bad place to be, man. That's a bad place to be. Michael in the chat says it's always next year. I mean, what are we supposed to say? Right? Edgar in the chat says, Mike, since I've been getting... Well, what else am I supposed to say? Right? I don't think I've ever once said this is a Super Bowl team. If I did, I was probably delusional as hell. I don't think I've ever said this is a Super Bowl team. But expectations is definitely playoffs, for sure. Or at least that's what I was hoping for. This organization refuses to make any moves, and it's all based off of monetary reasons. Dan Campbell, for where they are at, he made a move to start getting the offensive playing calls on his side. Dan Campbell did that. Dan Campbell said, it's not working, I'm taking this. Because guess what? Who's the one that's getting the blame when things don't work? Head coach, quarterback, the big names out there are those guys. Let's be real. Jonathan Gannon gets fired. Petsing ain't coming back. And if he does, good God. We really are clueless. This is an inexperienced staff. And in year 3, the inexperiences are now starting to rear its ugly head. That's what it is. Cardinals are who they are, right? We thought they are who we thought they were. Actually, that's not true. We thought they were going to be a playoff team, or at least I did. I thought they were going to be a playoff team, and I was wrong. Dead wrong. Never have I once said this is a Super Bowl team, and all the times we've been doing this, all the years we've been doing this, and guess what? There's been 2 years of expectations in 7 years. 2 years of expectations in the 7-year span. 2. Fourth year of Cliff, failed miserably. The year 3 of Gannon, failed miserably. Insane. Insane. Oracle in the chat says, guys, give it up. The Suns deserve our support right now. Cards are clueless and completely willing to compete. Yeah, but also at the other side of the coin, you are right. You're 100% correct. But on the other side of the coin, if you don't talk about them, you don't put heat on them, right? There is reason as, how do I put this? I don't want to allow this organization a free pass because I want to brush everything under the rug. Although I do agree, the Suns do deserve our support 100%. They are playing with their heads on fire. This is great product on the field. It's amazing what they're doing. But also on the other side of the coin, if you're not talking about it, there's no changes happening. I'm on the board of things need to change. And I get it. You still have Michael Bidwell. I understand it. But at the other side of the coin, if you don't talk about it, things don't change. And then guess what? That's what Michael Bidwell exactly wants you to do. Russell in the chat says, how many more years of this type of crap can you take, Mike? I had a very serious conversation with my wife yesterday. And it all kind of came and boiled down to, I don't know. I don't know how much longer. I don't know. I really don't. It's hard to be the person try to make a change when people aren't willing to try to change as well, if that makes sense. Because I do see a lot of people saying, just tune this organization out. Just tune them out. They don't deserve our views. But that doesn't do anything either. That doesn't show the frustration that Cardinal fans probably will be experiencing for the next 10 years. Let's be real. It feels like there's a curse on this organization. And if you want to put heat on this ownership, if you want to put heat on this organization, it's not done by not talking about them. So although I agree, your eyes should be on the Suns, on the other side of the coin, this team needs to be talked about in 2025 as an epic failure. This regime, 2025, has failed. Point and simple, has failed. The only thing we got right now is that I hope that Kyler Murray has value this offseason. It's the only thing I can hope for. Wins? They come. Will they? Probably not. But all I can hope right now is that JG's gone. And I know it's not all his fault, but that's the brutal nature of the NFL. Guess what? You took too long. Jonathan Gannon, to make a serious move. You took too long. You tied your career to Kyler. You took too long. Could you have drafted another quarterback? You could have. Could you have done something else? You could have. And you refused. And now we're here. So now you tied your career to Kyler. This year is not turning out the way that you want. Will you get another year? Maybe there's a slight chance because Bidwell is a penny pincher. Maybe there's a chance he comes back. But if you're really going to rebuild, stop half-assing it. Stop half-assing it. What we know right now is Gannon doesn't compete and can't compete in the NFC West. Why bring him back? Why? For another wasted year? They should have been planning this years in advance. But guess what? Like I said before, the Cardinals don't do it unless the problem's right there in front of their door. They're not innovative. They're not goal getters. They're followers. They let's see what the NFL is doing and we'll follow that trend. That's what this organization is and what they will always be. Because they don't make a move unless the problem is right there in front of your door. Here it is. Problem right here. That's why I keep talking about it. You need to have some sort of quarterback plan. And unfortunately, here we are. Let me know real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to open up the phone lines. Let me know in the chat. If you want to open up the phone lines, let me know. Because as of right now, I'm kind of done talking about them. But let me know. Let me get to my guy, Adrian. What's up, Adrian? Appreciate the $5 donation. He's coming up clutch saying this. Mike, if JG or Drew were to get fired, hopefully it's both. Would you like McCarthy here as a OC? Sorry. Would you like McCarthy here as an offensive coordinator or Brian Dable as a offensive coordinator? So I can't read, obviously. So Mike McCarthy as a head coach or Brian Dable as a offensive coordinator. I think it's going to be the decision of the head coach who comes. I don't know what's going to happen with Dable, right? Although I think it was very smart for them to go after Jackson Dart. If that kid can stay healthy, I think it would be special. And I'm not saying special like top 5, but definitely maybe top 10 if they can keep him healthy. The problem with Dable is that he was running him to the ground, man. He was running him into the ground with, oh, this kid's tough. Next, Josh Allen. Now, he still needs to develop, but I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Right now, if I would have to pick, probably McCarthy at head coach, but he's not my first option. But I still want to see who's out there, like who would be available. Because guess what? Black Monday, the Monday after their NFL season, there might be some other people that arise. There might be. So, that's a tough one. All right. We got some people here that do want to join in. Okay, we got a few yeses here. All right, let's do that. Let's open up the phone lines, ladies and gentlemen. If this is your first time here, super, super simple. If you're watching on the YouTube side, I am going to be posting a link here on the YouTube side. If you're watching those on X and Twitter, you're not going to be able to participate unless you go to the YouTube side. So what we're going to do is place the link here on the YouTube side. I'm going to pin it until the phone lines are over. We'll be able to get maybe 3 or 4 people on there. Let's get you on. I'm pinning it to the top of the chat right now on the YouTube side. So come on in. Let us know what your overall thoughts are, and let me know how you're feeling about the 2025 Arizona Cardinals. Link has been posted. Here we are. Already have our first person. We got Robert. I will be putting a timer up. Got 1 minute. 1 minute each, ladies and gentlemen. So, Robert, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Talk to me, Robert. How are you feeling about the 2025 Arizona Cardinals?
I can't hear you, Mike.
Can you hear me now? You can't hear me? No? Okay. You talk. No. Okay. Yeah, I can't hear you either. Try to come back in, Robert. Try to come right back in. Let's move on over to Jonathan. Jonathan, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Talk to me, Jonathan. How are you feeling about the 2025 Arizona Cardinals? You there, Jonathan? I believe you were on mute. Man, I don't think this is... All right. We're going to wait for one or two more people to come on. Here we go. Let's try this again. Let's go with Ramon. Ramon, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Talk to me, Ramon. How are you feeling about the Arizona Cardinals in 2025?
I think they should fire everyone. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're going downhill. They look worse this year than they have the last 2 years. It's ridiculous. I I think nobody should be buying Cardinals apparel until they fucking fire the coach. Or freaking fire the coach.
You're good.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know how you support a team that's just saying, yeah, this is good. This is cool.
Right. Yeah. No, that's
But
fair. That's fair. I haven't gone to a game for, I think the last game I went to was Thursday Night Football because I had some family coming in and we watched the Seahawks game. So you think everybody should go, including Kyler, or keep Kyler?
I'm a Kyler fan, but honestly, at this point, I don't think they're going to keep him. So if you're going to move off of him, then do what you're going to do. But I don't think this coaching staff should stay here. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I agree,
It's
man.
like this game was bad on coaching.
Yeah, I agree. I appreciate you, brother. Have a good one, man.
Have a good day, man.
You too. Yeah, I could already tell the frustration, man. I could definitely see the frustration just in general in Cardinals fans' faces, and I'm right there with you. Let's try Jonathan one more time. Jonathan, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Talk to me. How you feeling? Oh, there you are. Jonathan? Oh, man. It's not meant to be. Let's go with Robert one more time. Robert, this might not work out, but we're going to try. Robert, can you hear me?
Hey, Mike, I can finally hear you.
Perfect. All right, brother. Talk to me. How you feeling?
Dude, I'm good. But, we talked about, I've been a fan since the late 70s of this team. And this is one of the worst teams I've ever seen play. Fire the whole coaching staff. Take all these people who are lamed up, always injured, kick their butts out, and just redo the whole thing over again. I think that's what we're gonna have to do all over again.
Yeah.
That's
what it feels like, man. I know there's some people out there that are a little worried about just starting over again, but there is some coaches that can come in here and start good, right? We're seeing Mike McDonald do it. Even the guy from Jacksonville, he's a rookie and he's doing pretty solid with Trevor Lawrence. Now, Trevor Lawrence isn't great. Let's be real. He's not good, but he's still doing pretty solid for his year one. And Jonathan Gannon's struggling over here to win. He's got 30.
I would hire McCarthy. I mean, what can we lose? He's a lot better than Gannon is.
Okay. All right. Robert, appreciate you, man. Thank you. Later, dude.
Have fun, my brother.
You too, man. Peace. Love
you.
Love when Robert comes in. Let's try Jonathan one more time. If it doesn't work, Jonathan, I don't think it's meant to be, my guy. But let's try Jonathan one more time. You are live on the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Talk to me. How you feeling about the Cardinals? It's like you get there, but then it just freezes. I don't think it's meant to be, my guy. I'm so sorry, Jonathan. I try to get you on here. It's not working for some reason. But I can tell, man. Frustrations all around for Cardinal fans. Just like our first caller said, you could tell by the look in his eyes, man. He just was defeated. Because we feel We feel like we were led to believe that we were building something that we can be proud of. That's what I feel like it is. We were led to believe that we were building something that we can be proud of. And I feel like we were lied to. I feel like we bought into this product. We made up the whole let Monty cook. And Monty has been burning the popcorn and the fried chicken for a year or two already. I'm just kidding. He's not that bad, but he's not great either. Yeah, it's brutal, man. It's brutal. But I guess life as a Cardinal fan, right? Here we are. Let me do a real quick refresh right now, and let me see if there's any updates for Cardinal fans to get excited about for the remaining of the season. And guess what? Guess what? No news for the Cardinals. Absolutely pathetic, cowardly individuals in Michael Bidwell. He's going to run it back for one more week. Well, unfortunately, that's something that we're going to have to get used to, I guess. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be closing up shop right here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Smack the like button on your way out. Subscribe. On the road to 19K. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Everybody who called in, thank you. Everybody who super chatted, appreciate you. Everybody who smacked the like button and subscribe, appreciate you as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to have to muster another week of this BS coaching staff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you for tuning in. As always, have a great rest of your day. And go Cardinals.
Or who we thought they were. That's why we took the damn field.